Hey there, YouTube. Team Dark Beginning here. I'm Alex, and I'm here to bring you episode 3 of How to Side When You're Siding. This time I'm going to be talking about the ever-popular, now apparently Tier 1 wind-ups. Since wind-ups are 2 of the top 4 in YCS Toronto last weekend, so our wind-ups are going to be seeing a lot of play in the upcoming weeks, especially at YCS Indy. So if you're planning to attend that event, you should make sure that you know how to side against these wind-up little Toys R Us little guys. I have 4 cards that you can side against them. I have 3 of them in my hand, and the 4th one I can't afford. So I'm going to talk about that one first. The first one is, of course, Max C. Max C, you discard it to be able to draw once every time your opponent special summons this turn. Which means that the wind-up loop will draw. You will draw and draw and draw until you get the Veiler, until you get the Gores, or Battle Fader, or whatever you're running. That will help you stop their horrendously powerful OTK. Probably the Veilers. The Max C is a great card. It's a hand trap that you can easily use to your advantage, and if you're playing a Grand Soil deck, it's an Earth. So, booyah. The next card I'm going to talk about is Chain Disappearance. Chain Disappearance, you can activate it when a monster with 1,000 or less attack is normal summoned, or flip summoned, or special summoned. You banish that monster and all copies of that monster from your opponent's deck. Then you shuffle their deck. Hand or deck. So, what you're saying is, this can get rid of the big problem monsters, which are Magician and Rat. Magician and Rat. Chain Disappearance will really poop on an opponent's day when they're running windups. You can just be like, oh, that's cool. You summon Rat, get ready to loop, Chain Disappearance. Have fun with that. Of course, the Magician is possibly the best target for Chain Disappearance, as long as I'm remembering right, it has 1,000 or less attack. So you can just Chain Disappearance, their Magician, and suddenly they have a lot harder time making their plays. The next card I'm going to talk about is Rivalry of Warlords. Rivalry of Warlords is a continuous trap. That reads, each player sends monsters from his or her side of the field to the graveyard, so that you can only control one type of monster. As long as this card remains face up on the field, each player can only have one type of monster on the field. So what you're saying is, Rivalry of Warlords stops a lot of plays. Because you can, if you have they summon the Magician, you chain Rivalry of Warlords. They can no longer special summon their Shark because it's not a spellcaster, and they can only have spellcasters. Which means if they want to Xyz, they have to Xyz into a spellcaster. Or a Beast if they have Rat, or whatever. Rivalry of Warlords can stop their plays very, very easily. The same card, another very similar card, is Gozen Match, which is basically the exact same card, only with attribute rather than type. So they can only have Earth monsters, or Water monsters if they normal summon the Shark. It's not as effective as Rivalry of Warlords, but it is a little bit more accessible since I haven't seen a Rivalry reprint in a while besides, I think, Battle Pack. And I would definitely recommend Rivalry over Gozen Match, but Gozen Match is also very effective against other decks as well, along with Rivalry. Both of those cards are very, very good traps this format, and they're both very powerful side deck cards against this kind of meta. Of course, they don't do anything against Dark World, but you know, fuck Dark World. Anyway, that's the video, YouTube. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to Team Dark Beginning. This is Alex, and I'm signing off.